These are the 4 fundamental skill sets all great dribblers have. Let's get started. So the first skill is going to be actually the hop. And we're not going from right to left, not that sort of hop. We're actually going from the same foot to the same foot. So if we jump from the left, then we're going to go land on the left. Now the detail here is going to be, can you land right next or level with the ball, but also not too close. As we spoke about in the previous video, your plant foot should not be too close, only because I want my other foot to come in. I want my foot to be maybe about half a foot to a foot away. So there we go, right? Or 30 centimeters for non-Americans like me. So we hop and land just about this wide here, and then we take it from there. This might look pretty stupid, but if you watch the dribblers very carefully, when they're approaching the defenders at a very fast pace, you might actually see this hop coming to use fairly often. So why is this effective? Well, firstly, it freezes the defender. When I approach the defender, and right about this distance here, right, because I gotta think about my pace of me approaching the player. If I start that little hop here, this actually, in this motion right there, when I'm in the air, this actually freezes the defender, because from this point, as soon as I land, I can go either direction. I can go forward, left, right, or even turn back. So this is why it gives a little bit of problem for the defender to think about what this play, or me, what I'm going to do. So as we always do, let's talk about a little detail here. Right as we hop and land on the other side of the ball, we can go straight to the touch, which is the simplest form of this technique. Or another thing we can do is actually we'll land with our right foot right about there on the other side of the ball. What this can help us do is from here, we can then pull and then go out. It gives a little bit of detail, a little extra flavor to change the direction. And also from here, I can go switch, scissors, and then step out to the other side. So not only we just go from land to push out, we can go hop, land around, maybe even an extra step, and then come out the other way. So notice that from one simple hop, I just added 2-3 other skills. Additionally, as soon as you land, you can notice that I am landing quite low on my knee. So make sure if you're trying to use this technique, after you hop, you land low. Get yourself smaller, get yourself shorter. So if I'm about 6 foot tall or 183 centimeters, I want to become about 5'7" or maybe about 160 tall, right? So we land wide, we land low, and from here, we can be explosive, changing the directions. And this is why the first technique is very, very useful and efficient. So how do we practice this? You standing right behind the ball, directly behind the ball. You can start with whichever side you want. I'm gonna start with the left. I'm just going to gently lift up my right foot here. You can touch the ground, but do not put any weight on it. So we go from here, use your ankle to raise your height, right? So it's this motion and just landing. If you are up against the defender, kind of in the static position, you might give that little pumping motion here, and then we can go there. This motion will freeze the defender. So just practice on your own, right? We don't even have to move the ball. Can we move the defender's body weight or the balance without even touching the ball? It's that motion there. So make sure we practice both sides. 1, 2, and get low. You can even step your plant foot slightly ahead of the ball, depending on what your plan is in your head. Because if I go ahead, I can hide and turn around. Normally, we want to be level with the ball. That's going to help us in changing the direction. But if my plan is to hide the ball and turn back, then ideally, we want to land in front of the ball so that way we can turn. We don't have to jump high. All we need is to be deliberate with our body weight. Can we get low and tilt our shoulders closer to my shoulders? Because that's going to move the defender's body weight and freeze the defender. Variation can be Next one is going to be the dragging dribbling. A lot of the wingers like to use this technique because it creates a slight pocket of space where you can get out or freeze the defender again. Now, the common theme to all four of these techniques I'm about to show you is the timing. Can you take the timing away? I'm personally very slow, but I can be an effective dribbler. Why? Because I'm good at taking the timing away from the defender. Can I drag the ball and then create the space to drop my shoulder and get out? It's about the timing. Winning that battle of timing is going to help you become the best dribbler or the most effective dribbler, regardless of the speed. So let's go ahead and learn about this. All we're gonna do is from one side of the cone, I'm going to my left, so I'm going to be using my right foot inside. Now, the dragging dribble is all about the inside. We're not going to be dribbling with our instep, we'll be dribbling with our inside. The key thing here is going to be have your leading foot, your plant foot ahead of the ball, and keep that ball slightly behind. It should not be here moving the ball like this. Try and keep the ball very close to your contacting foot. And your plant foot or your leading foot is slightly further away. But now my body weight might be slightly shifted to the direction I'm trying to go. So there, right? And you're taking very subtle and soft touches. Just practice, right? It's almost like a crab walk. Notice how my plant foot will always stay close to the ball. And I'll explain why. And again, I'm just using the line here as my reference point so I can stay on the line. That's the practice. We want to move the ball side to side, not necessarily diagonally at the moment. So side to side. So why do we want to keep the ball so close to our foot? Because it's all about the timing, right? So again, now the variation is going to be, the progression is going to be, we touch, touch, get close, and quickly drop the shoulder and then get out. Okay, so let's repeat. Slowly. Then and get out, right? Outside foot. Okay, and get out. Or another thing you can do is inside, then sudden and get out, right? Sudden drop of shoulder. Because my foot's so close to the ball, when that foot comes in from the defender, I can always get out. Let's talk about the details. Now, when I go from inside, that change of direction with the outside, take a look at my plant foot. It's going to be there, 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 and out. Touch, 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 hop, and out. Notice how my foot does not land after the touch for the hop. So it's going to be touch, 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 stay in the air, hop, and outside. And how do we keep this really efficient? Make sure after the first inside touch, do not go make a big radius with your foot. Stay very close to the ball, so that way you can go touch, touch, and out. Change direction like this. Add some speed if you want. There and then get out. Keep your touch behind, and then you get out. The third skill, I like to call it the twitch. And this is often used by, what can this man do? Messi. A lot of times, when you see him going 1v1, facing against another player but static, you can see he lifts his right foot up and going there, right? Now, the foot motion isn't necessarily this big as I just show you, but it's about the concept. So you go from here, kind of static, right? Neutral body balance. You shift your body weight one side, then sudden pump and then go out, right? So this is why I like to call it the twitch, because it's almost like you're twitching, okay? So let's practice. I'm right-footed, so I'm gonna go with the left. It's easier for me. Neutral position. If you're new to this, you can train like this. With the ball static, not touching the ball, all you have to do is just kind of lift up your foot this way, right, to one side, and drop your shoulder to the opposite side, okay? And then from here, have a quick pump and bounce out. So I try and shift all of my weight on the toes. So shift your weight from up, toes, and bounce out, okay? You can go outside touch, inside touch, do a little croqueta if you want. I find croqueta quite useful in this situation as a sequel to the move. Go from up to bounce up, right? Up to bounce. Remember, it's a bounce with the knees. Bounce, right? Slide up and bounce. Think almost like giving a slight delay and there. It's like a pause of time and there, right? Up and push, up and push. As you get used to this, then it doesn't have to be this high or this dramatic. You can go from static to a quick, my foot's attached to the ground. You can just go quick, shift your body weight to the toes. You go from neutral to more body weight to this side, and then you get out, okay? So you go from neutral to there, right? Neutral to there. So quick shift. You can do it multiple times if you want. You can go 1, 2, and out, right? Because when the defender sees you kind of twitching in one direction, he or she will follow, or at least move the body weight to that side. So we try and watch the defender's body weight changing, and you go from there and out. So you can go from 1, 2, right? What I just did was fall and fall again, right? So 1 and 2, right? 1, 2, and out. So be static, practice, be static. Just work on shifting your body weight. This buys the timing. So go from there and out. Again, I did not even have to move from here to here. I just went from there. As I fall forward, I just catch myself, right? 1, 2, catch out. 1, 2, catch and out. One more. Slow, delay, and out. It's about going from slow to really fast twitch, and then you do your move, whatever it might be. So catch the defender and go out. So this is a phenomenal technique if you find yourself kind of static and the pressure's coming in hard, or when you're moving relatively at a slower pace, right? Because if you're moving fast, it's kind of difficult to go there and then keep on running at a fast pace. So you go from 0 to there, okay? So you receive half turn, pressure's coming there, and then you peel off. You just go from there, twitch, go. Practice working on going forward, practice working on turning, right? So there, and turn, practice different options. So as far as the twitch goes, it's all about how quickly you can shift your weight from your right foot to left foot. Keep your weight towards your toes, now your heels. Because if you shift your weight to your heels, it's not going to help you to lean forward, which is what causes the defender to think about that she or he has to protect, run back and protect the space that is behind. So that's what's giving you the separation, right? So shift all of your weight towards your toes, not your heel. So the fourth one is actually touch hop. It's similar to that hop, but actually before we hop, we're going to go touch the ball with our inside. So you go slight touch and hop. And the key thing here is going to be making sure that you touch the ball very little. So by the time you hop and land, you are ahead of the ball. And that touch and a hop forward and keeping the ball behind here will help me to protect the ball away from the pressure that's coming from this side here. So let's practice. Again, from the static point, we go touch, hop. That's it. That's all you want to practice. Touch, hop. It'll be nice if you can keep the ball very close to your contacting foot when you land. And this helps me to change directions very rapidly because my foot is already so close to the ball. So let us take our time to practice touch and the hop. How do we do this? It's going to be touch, hop, scissor, touch, hop, scissor, touch, hop, scissor. Notice how I do not add any extra steps in between. I just go from straight, touch, hop, scissors to land, touch, hop, scissors. It's all about the rhythm, being light on your feet and shifting all of your weight towards your toes. So this is a very good way to kind of train that movement. It's just one cone. You can do it. You don't even need a cone, to be honest. Just go from left to right, and then we're gonna sprint and the other way around as well. So just be light. Just make sure to be light on your feet. You can kind of see my inefficiency running this way, just because it's not so natural. Try a different technique as well. So there you have it, 4 foundational skill sets that all great dribblers have. And it's simple, it's effective, it's not fancy, but these are the foundations, these are the details. Because once you've learned these types of movements, the variations or the fancy skills that come out, or so-called the instinct or the creativity, they are all from these basis of fundamentals, right? So without these fundamentals of skill sets and the movements, you cannot be having an instinct, you cannot be creative, everything's going to be structured. So once you have these fundamentals down, you can get really creative on how you train. It doesn't have to be, oh, he's doing this and that. You don't have to copy it. You can come up with your own stuff. Depending on the positions, depending on the situations, that's the soccer IQ. Have your fundamentals down and you will have high performance.